Imagine waking up and not recognizing the person in the mirror. Now picture a compass lost on its own direction. Lastly, envision a book with all its pages blank. Shocking, isn't it? Welcome to the journey of finding yourself again. Ever felt like a stranger to yourself? You're not alone. Picture this. You wake up one morning and look into the mirror, but the eyes staring back at you seem unfamiliar. It's like looking at a distant relative, someone you've known all your life yet can't quite recognize. That, my friends, is the haunting feeling of losing oneself. It's like being a ship thrown around on the sea with no compass to guide you home. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, doesn't it? One minute you're sailing smoothly, and the next you're lost in a storm. At times, this storm can be an unexpected life event, a heartbreak, a job loss, or a personal tragedy. These events can shake us to our very core, leaving us feeling lost, disconnected, and adrift in the vast ocean of life. Now let me share something from my own life. Once there was a time when I felt like a ghost in my own story. I was working a high-profile job, surrounded by highly intellectual people, friends, and colleagues, yet feeling utterly alone. The pressure was immense, and one day, I cracked. I remember standing in the middle of a crowded room, feeling utterly invisible. I had lost myself in the hustle and bustle of my lifestyle, in the pursuit of success and validation. But here's the thing about losing yourself. It's not the end, but rather the beginning of a journey to find yourself again. It's like that old saw. Sometimes you have to get lost to find yourself. It's a journey that takes you deep within, to the very core of who you are. It's a journey of self-discovery, a journey of finding that inner compass that will guide you back home. And remember, it's okay to feel lost. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to take a moment to breathe, to reflect, to reconnect with yourself. Because it's in these moments of quiet introspection that we often find our true selves. And remember, even in the darkest wilderness, there's a path to be found. Like a compass, we all have a personal North Star within us. Now you might be wondering what that means. Well, let's dive into that. We all have an innate sense of direction, an internal compass, if you will. This isn't about knowing your east from your west, or being able to navigate the streets of a new city without a map. No, this compass is far more profound, far more personal. It's about recognizing your own values, understanding your desires, and being true to who you are. This inner compass is your intuition, that gut feeling that nudges you towards or away from certain decisions. It's the voice that whispers to you when something feels right or wrong, even if you can't quite put your finger on why. Your intuition is like a trusty old compass, pointing you towards your true north, towards who you truly are. Picture this. You're lost in a dense forest with no clear path in sight, but you have a compass in your hand. You know that as long as you follow its guidance, you'll find your way out. That's what your intuition does. It guides you through the dense forest of life, through the thickets of doubt and the undergrowth of confusion, always pointing you in the direction of your authentic self. But here's the thing, just like a real compass, your inner compass only works if you trust it. If you ignore its direction, or worse, try to force it to point somewhere else, you'll only end up more lost. So it's crucial to trust your intuition, to listen to that quiet voice within, and let it guide you. Now, I know trusting something so intangible can be scary. I have certainly been there. Once upon a time, I was so lost, caught in the tangles of other people's expectations. But I learned to trust my compass, to follow its direction even when it seemed crazy. And you know what? It led me right here to a place of self-understanding and authenticity. So trust the compass within, that still small voice that it knows the way. A blank book is not empty. It's just waiting for a story to be written. Now, imagine life as this blank book. You are the author, and each day is a new page waiting for you to fill it with your experiences and adventures, your triumphs and failures, your joys and sorrows. It's all there, waiting to be written. You might be thinking, well, that's a lot of pressure. What if I mess up? What if I write something I regret? And to that I'd say, congratulations, you're a human. We all make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes end up in our book. But here's the beautiful thing about being the author of your own life story. You can always turn the page and start fresh. Consider this, if life were a sitcom, would you want to be the character who never makes a mistake, who never faces any challenges? and who's always perfect. Sounds pretty boring. No twists, no turns, no character development. You'd be canceled after the first season, probably after the pilot. Now let's add some spice to this metaphorical book of life. Imagine if every time you made a mistake, instead of erasing it, you highlighted it. Now that's a plot twist. Every mistake becomes a lesson, every failure becomes a stepping stone, and every regret becomes a guide to what not to do in the future. Remember that time when you thought wearing socks with sandals was a good idea? Or maybe that's in style now, I don't know. Or when you tried to cut your own hair. Or when you thought that eating a whole jar of jalapenos was a challenge you could handle. Those weren't just mistakes, those were plot twists, pivotal moments that added character and depth to your story. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to write a story that's uniquely yours, with all its imperfections and quirks. After all, it's those very imperfections and quirks that make your story worth reading. So go ahead, pick up that pen and start writing. Fill your book with adventures and misadventures, laughter and tears, love and loss. Remember, the pen is in your hand. Write a story worth reading. In the Bible, in Psalm 139:14, it says, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Now let's take a moment to unpack this. The words fearfully and wonderfully don't just mean that we were created on a whim. No, it means we were thoughtfully, intentionally designed with a purpose. This scripture is not just a lovely verse to embroider on a pillow. It's a powerful affirmation of self-acceptance and self-love. The journey to rediscover ourselves, to find who we truly are, begins from this point of understanding. We are not random accidents of evolution, but purposeful, intricate creations. And what does it mean to accept ourselves? It means to acknowledge both our strengths and weaknesses, our triumphs and our failures. It means to look at ourselves in the mirror, not with a critical eye, but with kindness and compassion. We need to love ourselves for who we are, not for who we think we should be. And this love is not a narcissistic, self-absorbed love. It's a love that acknowledges our worth, that recognizes our value. It's a love that says, I am enough, I am worthy, I am wonderfully made. This love and acceptance form the rock-solid foundation on which we build our journey to find ourselves again. It's like a lighthouse guiding us through the stormy seas of self-doubt and confusion, leading us back to the shore of our true selves. So, as we journey along this path of self-discovery, remember to embrace the wisdom of Psalm 139, verse 14. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are unique. You are special. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Never forget that. Finding yourself is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a journey that calls for a compass, not a map. You see, a map implies a predetermined path, and a compass gives you direction. But the path, oh, that's all yours to carve. So how do you find this compass? Well, it starts with self-reflection. Like a starry night reflected in a tranquil lake, you need calmness to see yourself clearly. Dedicate a few minutes each day to sit in silence, to listen to your thoughts without judgment or interruption. Next, pen down your thoughts in a journal. It's like having a conversation with yourself. It's fascinating how often we discover new aspects of ourselves in these silent monologues. Then there's the art of mindfulness, being present in the moment, savoring the taste of your coffee, feeling the texture of the page as you turn it, hearing the rustle of leaves in the wind. It's in these seemingly mundane moments that you often find pockets of joy and revelations about yourself. Remember, the key is consistency. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is self-discovery. It's a gradual process, akin to a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble to reveal the masterpiece within. And don't forget to celebrate your small victories. Each step forward, no matter how tiny, is a step towards finding the you you've been looking for. Lastly, embrace your uniqueness. Your quirks, your passions, your dreams, they all make you you, and that's your greatest strength. So embark on this journey and find the you you've been looking for. For those who stayed till the end, here's a little nugget of wisdom. In the words of the great philosopher Carl Jung, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of self-discovery. It's not about seeking validation from the world around us, but about delving deep into our own psyche. Let's take a moment to ponder upon this. Just as a caterpillar morphs into a butterfly, we too can undergo a metamorphosis of the soul. But this transformation requires introspection and courage. It's about embracing the person we truly are, beneath the layers of societal expectations and self-doubt. In this journey of self-discovery, remember, it isn't about becoming a new person, but becoming the person you were always meant to be. Life is a constant adventure of self-exploration, and every step we take towards understanding ourselves is a step towards freedom. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with that first single step. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We've navigated the unexpected, grappled with lost identities, and found our inner compass. We've started to fill the blank pages of our storybooks, sought wisdom from ancient scriptures, and charted a path forward. Now we ask you to take a step further. If this journey resonated with you, click on that like button. To continue exploring with us, hit subscribe, and most importantly, engage with us. Share your thoughts, your questions, your own tales of self-discovery in the comments. We want to hear your stories, for each one adds a unique brushstroke to this beautiful tapestry of human experience. As we wrap up, let's remember that there's no end to self-discovery. It's an ongoing journey. Stay tuned for more enlightening journeys. And remember, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Until next time.